Star Wars / Starbucks thing in the middle of the day that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I'm waiting to pick up my mom from work, and on the way I decided to go stop by Starbucks and get her a little something because I'm a fantastic daughter and I know it. Well, and mom deserves Starbucks. She's fantastic. Got her hooked on a Starbucks Frappuccino that I learned from the Disney Springs Marketplace Starbucks years ago. It's been sitting for a second, so it doesn't look as cool, but this is what we call the Dagobah Frappuccino, aka the Yoda Frappuccino. It's very easy to make. All it is a green tea Frappuccino, some frappe chips, and some caramel drizzle. You can also ask for the caramel like on the edge of the cup, and it's really cool looking. This is the Frappuccino that really made me start to even like matcha in the first place, and it's become one of mom's favorites.
Looky, I got you a Frappuccino.
Frappuccino.
Yes. Thank you.
$228 until you realize there's an error and he's missing his stomach. What the heck?
I am striking out on my Orange Bird merchandise today. Now, there were some really cute flower and garden pieces that also had Orange Bird on it, like t-shirts and other mugs and stuff like that. However, they're not anything I would actually use, so I didn't get any of them. So instead, I ended up with the really cute salt and pepper shakers. I mean, they're shaped like Disney trash cans. Also, this is the pose that's on the bag that's missing his tummy. But it's here. It's this nice salt and pepper shaker. It's ceramic, and then it says Think Orange, and it has the little Epcot logo on it. There's another great side that says Florida Orange Bird, Kissed by the Sun. It's really cute. However, we're going to play a game to spot the difference. Can you tell me the difference between these two little fruit birds? Yes, one doesn't have eyebrows. I can't believe I didn't catch this in the store. I just want my fruit bird to have all of his eyebrows and tails and tummy. Is that too much to ask?
At capacity for the one park that we want to go to.
Hi, Stephanie. I was tagged and sent your video a couple times, so I thought I'd throw in my 2 cents. Typically, my content focuses on a lot of history and Disney storytelling, so this is kind of how I would spin it to be able to tell the story to your children. From what I can gather, you have 3 little ones. And you probably saw in your comments that yes, you can park hop after 2 o'clock. And no, since the 50th anniversary, most parks have not reached max capacity since then. So if I was going to suggest going to a park first thing in the morning, I would say Hollywood Studios. Have your morning focus around seeing Minnie and Mickey friends and Pixar friends. Focus on going and seeing Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway, the Disney Junior Dance Party, Alien Swirling Saucers, Toy Story Midway Mania, catch the Pixar cavalcades. A great option for lunch before hopping over to Magic Kingdom would be Hollywood and Vine, where you can see the Fab 5 characters. AC, sit-down, buffet characters, great. If you purchase Genie Plus, you can use it at both parks. End your afternoon and evening over at Magic Kingdom. Just my opinion. Night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So if you follow me on this clock app, you know I love the little details, like a little too much. And there's one I found the other day at Epcot that I'm just obsessed with. As most of you know, the Flower and Garden Festival has started at Epcot here at Walt Disney World. It'll be going on from now until July 4th. And they have over-the-top topiaries of some of your favorite Disney characters. Now, we didn't get any new topiaries this year, I believe, but they did get updates. And one of my favorite updates happened for the Seven Dwarfs. Their topiaries are located over in the Germany Pavilion of Epcot. And if you look to the very back of the row, you'll see Sneezy while in mid-sneeze. But you gotta look at his nose. If you look really close, there's a little worm sitting on top of it. And not just any worm, it's Squeak! Yes, his name is Squeak. And no, he's not actually from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. He's from Fox and the Hound. And they made him so cute! So if you go to the festival, let me know if you find Squeak. Night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Question. Have you ever been in the park and seen a cast member wearing this? This is the blue name tag that cast members receive if they were nominated and won the Legacy Award, which is the highest award any cast member, crew member, Imagineer can receive. And this award is nominated by other cast members. Okay, Danielle, why the heck are you telling this to us? Because my cast member friends, it is nomination time. Are there any cast members in your area that you feel like exemplify the ideas of dream, create, and inspire? I'm not even a cast member anymore, and I can already think of a couple of cast members that I used to work with that I feel like really deserve this award. And this isn't just in Walt Disney World, it's in Disneyland, the cruise line, all over the world. Okay, Danielle, but I'm a guest and I can't do any of that. Actually, you can help, and it's through your guest compliments. For some of our guest-facing cast members, some of the final decisions can come down to your opinion. So if you see a cast member doing an awesome job, make sure you say something. You never know, they could be nominated. And cast members, don't forget you have a limited time to be able to nominate someone from now until April 1st. So if you want to nominate someone, make sure you partner up with another person in your location and start brainstorming how you're going to write your essay. Yes, it's an essay about this person. There's a lot of cast members this past year that have been through and done a lot, and there's a couple that deserve it. Night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
Boides, Tricorum, Sadis D. Does that ring a bell to any?
How do you have the Star of Astaroth from the island of Naboombu, and where can I get one? Oop.
Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. This question popped up on my Q&A about Lost and Found, specifically at Walt Disney World. Now there's two parts to your question. Yes, there is a Lost and Found, however, when it comes to magic bands, yeah, once they're gone, they're kinda gone. For a couple reasons, so let me explain. For those that are not aware what a magic band is a device that was created by Disney that you can put your room information, you can charge back to the room, you can put your tickets, you can put Genie Plus, everything can be linked onto one wristband. And this is a first gen one. This is one that I was sent as a cast member for us cast members to test it out to get ready for the technology. They don't look like this no more. But since all that information is on a magic band, once you lose it and you go up to guest relations or your front desk and tell them, hey, I lost this magic band, they will go ahead and deactivate it. Meaning that if anybody finds your magic band and tries tapping it anywhere, there's no info on this. Meaning that it's also very hard for the Lost and Found team to be able to track who last had this magic band because all that data is erased off of it. So many magic bands are lost every single day at Disney World. And that's why the cast member was just kind of honest and said, yeah, there's no way we're gonna find that because all the information is deactivated at some point. Now, if it's anything else that you lose at Disney World, if you lose an item same day in a park, you go to guest relations in that park location. It is held at that park for about 24 hours. And then it is moved to a different facility that's located near Disney Springs, where it's sorted by cast members and put into categories, where it's held for a good amount of time before it's either thrown in the trash or is just donated. If you go to DisneyWorld.com, search Lost and Found, it'll give you a little section to fill out some answers. Be as specific as you can of your lost item. Like if it's a Goofy hat, try to give as many details as you can, not just that it's Goofy on it. Is it blue? Is it the face of Goofy? Does it have Goofy's autograph on it? Is there a stain on the top of the lid, like right off to the right side? Your information then goes into a database. Then it's also comparing the data that the cast member is inputting of a found item. And then if there's a match, they'll send you an email confirmation link and tell you how to get your item. If the item is found during the time that you're at your trip, you just go take a bus to Disney Springs, or there's a little window to go pick it up at. If it's like a week to 2 weeks after your trip, Disney will ship your found item anywhere across the world. And it's free. Because some items are very important to some guests. Maybe a stuffed animal accidentally got left behind in the room. You want to make sure that special toy gets back to that guest. So even if they're back home in the UK, they will get their toy sent back to them. So yes, Lost and Found is good on many things, except for magic bands. Night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
Does Disney hire psychics or something for their Mary Poppins cast members?
I love these kind of stories. They make my heart so glad. I will tell you that no, Disney does not hire psychics to play Mary Poppins. And there's only one Mary Poppins, just like there's only one Mickey Mouse. Now, is Mary Poppins aware of all children's names all the time? No, because in some situations it's just not proper. Can't speak for Mary Poppins, however, I know in my own experience when I've had to do some magical guest situation fixing. Certain simple things like a name can easily be picked up just by being aware, listening, and reading the room. Very easily, that attention to detail and that awareness can be perceived as, well, magic. And some are more aware than others. Until next time, night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So today I've been hanging out in the Magic Kingdom here at Walt Disney World. And I've been hanging out here in the square for a little bit, and I noticed that some people don't realize who Roy is. And yes, I'm talking about this statue right here. This is of Roy O. Disney, Walt Disney's older brother. Put a very long story short, Walt Disney passed away before seeing the opening of Walt Disney World. And that's where Roy Disney, his brother, came and took over the project. Roy gave the dedication speech for Walt Disney World right here in this area, and that's why his statue is not too far behind. The statue of Walt and Mickey is all the way at the very front of the castle, and that one is called Partners, while this statue is called Sharing the Magic. And the main thing of symbolism is if you look at their hands, Roy is supporting Minnie Mouse's hand just like how he supported his brother Walt. So all I ask is please don't climb on Roy. Till next time, night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Tonight, let's talk about some fantastic pieces of art located just in the arches of Cinderella's castle. Inside Cinderella's castle, you'll find these 5 beautiful mosaics telling the story of Cinderella. The walls were originally designed by Imagineer Dorothea Redmond. However, the mosaics were put together by Hans, I can't pronounce his name, and his team of 6. The mosaics are 10 feet wide and 15 feet tall. Over 300,000 pieces of Italian glass were used to put this together. Many of the pieces are infused with 14-karat gold or other gems as well. It took over 2 years to meticulously put all 5 of these walls together, which is interesting since the Cinderella anime movie also took 2 years to make. And if you look next to the arches, you'll also find some of Cinderella's little mice and bird friends. Till next time, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
Nothing could have prepared me for how much I loved this movie.
I totally agree, Jason. I didn't have high expectations going into this movie and liking it, and I ended up really enjoying it. I posted on my Instagram stories talking about how much I enjoyed it, and then my friends started sending me articles of people that didn't like the movie. And I think I know why. It's not made for them. They can't relate to it. Let me explain. May is a 13-year-old girl in 2002 with raging hormones that are personified as a giant fluffy red panda that gets angry, which is an accurate representation of most female girls at the age of 13. May's group of friends are also not the popular kids. They're me and my friends. Yes, this is a horrible photo of me and my friends from 8th grade. We're the smart, artistic, theater, band geeks. But you know what? Me and my friends, we thought we were the ish. And yes, just like May, I also drew awful versions of anime men. Yeah, that was a thing. So with that being said, if you were part of a different group of friends in school, you might not relate to this movie. And that's okay. Gorgeous girls put dinosaur sprinkles on their ice cream because they can. Thank you. Have a good day. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So I'm currently standing at the exit of Muppet Vision 3D. And here in the back of Muppet Courtyard, we have the sadly closed Stage 1 store and the still open, fabulous Mama Melrose Ristorante Italiano, where we just happen to be having dinner tonight. Hello. Now, my fun fact for you is, did you know that this restaurant was originally supposed to be Muppet themed? Some of the original concepts and designs had this restaurant being themed as the Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor. Well, or at least that was one of the concept ideas. Swedish Chef was supposed to be cooking in the back. Gonzo and Camilla were supposed to be running in the little air ducts and maybe getting caught above your table so you could hear them every once in a while. But since Jim Henson died in 1990 in the middle of the contractual negotiations, the theme kind of fell through. In the decor of Mama Melrose, you can totally see where it would possibly have been themed to Muppets at one point. Instead of music and movie memorabilia, it would have been Muppet memorabilia. However, Michael Eisner still liked the idea of having an Italian-themed restaurant here in the back lot. So thus, Mama Melrose was born. So since the concept fell through, what was Michael Eisner's new idea for the backstory? So the new story is themed around a young girl from a small village in Italy. She fell in love with the idea of being a Hollywood star, so she moved out to California. However, her rise to stardom really didn't take off. Supposedly, she was just a sub-in for certain actresses that were named Gina, Sophia, and Anna. In between scenes, she would hang out with the other extras. And in her downtime, ended up cooking for them some of her favorite Italian dishes from back at home. Eventually, she ended up opening up her own restaurant, feeding the stars, the extras, and crew. And hence why Mama Melrose is still hiding out in the very back of what's left of the back lot. Kinda cool.
Does anyone else have one of these or know how old it is? Like, I'm obsessed.
Okay, I do know a wee bit. That watch style also has some other siblings that came out between about 1989 to about 1993 or 4. Other versions similar to this watch were made for Toontown, for Disney Channel, and there's also a version where it's Genie's face stuck inside of it and you pop it open. It's like he's squeezed inside the lamp. Oh, and the version that was made for Disney World's 20th anniversary, which was in 1991. So this Tigger model, I believe, came out in 1990 or 1991, right there in the middle area. I believe they were made by a company called Loris, which is a brand that was owned by the parent company of Seiko. That contract started back in 1987, or at least just about that time. Your watch is part of the era where we had some really fun Disney watches on property. They either sung or did something cool, or the packaging alone that they were in was fantastic. Kinda cool, and thanks for sharing. Night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
Okay, but why is the castle in the cloud?
For budget and time cuts, let me explain. So yes, from a storytelling standpoint, it does look like Snow White is unalived. However, I don't believe that was the animator's intention, only because this was due to budget cuts and a multi-plane camera was used in making this scene. Because picture this, at the time of finishing this movie, Disney was up to his eyebrows swimming in loans and debt. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movie was made with hand-painted cells with 24 frames per second. That scene from the moment that you see the prince and Snow White stopping, and all of a sudden they're not moving, however the background is moving, is about 17 seconds. By using the multi-plane camera, they were able to cut out 408 individual paintings. So by using the multi-plane camera, they only had to make 4 or 5 individual paintings, and basically to save the animators time, they just didn't add trees. Clouds. Very fluffy clouds are easy. But yeah, I could totally see where she looks like she's unalive. Who knows? Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Y'all, we are just about halfway through March, which means that the countdown to Dapper Day has begun. Well, the spring Dapper Day event. For those that are not aware, Dapper Day events are held twice a year here at Disney World and in Disneyland and Disneyland Paris. So if you want to dress up and be fabulous going to the park, here are your dates that you need to make your reservations for. Disneyland's day outing is going to be on Sunday, April 24th. However, the Dapper Day Expo will be going on the 23rd through the 24th at the Disneyland Hotel. Buy your tickets at thedapperday.com. And no, this is not sponsored by them. I just highly support it. Your Disney World dates are going to be on April 30th and May 1st. Saturday, April 30th, all the Dappers will be at Epcot. And then on Sunday, May 1st, we're making it back home to Hollywood Studios. The pictures are going to be great. Sadly, I will not be able to make it to the spring outing in California. However, here in Florida, I will be there for both days. Hopefully, my Cali friends, I'll see you for the fall outing. We'll see. More info and details, check out dapperday.com. Night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
I already told you. The girls that get it, get it. The girls that don't.
Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So on this day, March 23rd, Walt Disney Productions held a special event called Love Bug Day in 1969 in Disneyland. Let me explain. As a promotion for the new Love Bug movie that came out shortly beforehand, Disney created a contest where privately owned Volkswagen Bug owners could decorate their cars and submit it into a contest to win a brand new Volkswagen Bug. 101 privately owned Volkswagens paraded down Main Street, USA in Disneyland in 1969. They were judged in categories of most psychedelic, toy-like, comical, and best personality. Morton and Barbara of Studio City, California were the winners. Here's a clip. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So recently I got in a conversation with someone about the Disney ducks. Because you know, everybody posts pictures of them and on Instagram and they're so cute. And the person I'm with says, you know, those Disney ducks, they're really living the best life. Yes, a very harsh and cruel life. What? Yeah, so they actually stock the ponds here at Walt Disney World so that we can go on bass fishing excursions and you like pay for it. Well, guess what? Eat small ducklings during the spring season. Bass! Working in recreation this time of year was always so hard because you get used to the little duck families and count that there were 12 of them, then suddenly 8, then 6, then maybe 4 if you were lucky. Danielle, stop. The poor duckies! I wish I was joking, but that's actually true. If you see a Disney duck, they're pretty hardcore, especially the ones over in Epcot. The bass over there are crazy. So yeah, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So sorry for scarring y'all with last night's video and my harsh story about the Disney duck life cycle. And one of the top questions was, why do they have bass? Why does having a bass excursion at Disney World a thing? History time. There's a couple factors that played into this. Number one being, when Walt Disney World was first created in the 70s, it was advertised as an all-inclusive resort destination. Because you figure at the time, they only had Magic Kingdom in the resorts. So during the rest of your stay, you were doing recreational activities, like swimming and boating and, well, eventually, fishing. However, the first bass fishing excursion wouldn't happen until 1977. Well, Danielle, the resort was built in 1971. Why did they wait so long? Well, the reasoning why was so that way the original bass that were introduced into the man-made lake had a full life cycle. And the next couple of generations of fish afterwards had already grown and started developing in the ecosystem. What new fish? Hold on. This is in the Magic Kingdom Resort area. This body of water was here. This is Bay Lake. However, this body of water right in front of the Magic Kingdom is called Seven Seas Lagoon and is all man-made. And since the bodies of water are connected, fish were introduced to combine the old ecosystem with the new one so that way they merged together. Over 70,000 fingerling bass were added in the initial first generation of bass. Since then, bass fishing has been one of the best kept secrets at Disney World. Bass fishing is still offered at Disney World, however it is catch and release. The excursions are from 2 to 4 hours and can have up to 3 to 5 people. For more information, just Google search Disney Bass Fishing. It'll take you to Disney World's online page and you'll find a phone number and more information and details. And if you're picking a location, my suggestion would be if you're looking to catch the biggest bass on property, try over at the Yacht and Beach Club. See if you can get a fishing excursion from there because the largest bass catch was recorded over in that lake, over 14 pounds. That body of water has the least amount of gators in it, so the fish run the joint over there. Happy fishing, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
You guys, it's Dumbo. Hi, Dumbo.
I am so amused by everybody's reactions to seeing the Dumbo meet and greet character, which yes, has existed for quite some time. Videos and pictures of this meet and greet character have blown up in the past 24 hours because he made an appearance at a special event last night at Magic Kingdom here at Walt Disney World. He's obviously not a normal character based on everybody's reactions on Twitter and here on TikTok. It was great seeing people's reactions because it really reminded me that not all of you know about these things. I just assumed that everybody knew, yeah, there's a Dumbo meet and greet character, and then that version's been around since the 1990s, but it was originally in Disneyland and not in Disney World. We had the original one from 1979 that stuck around until about 2005. I just assumed y'all knew. I think that's why this version of the character confused the Disney World people, because this isn't what they were accustomed to in the 80s and the 90s. Disney Dan actually made a YouTube video on the history of the Dumbo costume that he made like 4 years ago. Definitely check it out if you want to know more.
Build a path to be together. And I forget the next couple of lines, but then it goes, secret tunnel, secret tunnel. Through the mountain, secret, 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 secret tunnel.
Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Hi everyone, let's go have lunch at the Plaza restaurant located inside Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. This location is one of my favorites not only because they have great food, but the architecture and art style within the restaurant is inspired by Art Nouveau, which was pretty popular between 1890 and 1910, with its curving plant-like embellishments and curved glass, which also happened to be one of my favorite art eras. I opted in for the 50th anniversary Monte Cristo sandwich, which I just had a Monte Cristo when I was in Disneyland, and I gotta admit, I like this one better. Don't tell the Disneyland fam. Also can't leave without getting a little scoop of mint ice cream to cleanse the palate. Till next time, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Look at what Disney just announced. Hoop-Dee-Doo review is returning June 23rd! This is one of my family's favorite dinner offerings, and it's just a really good show, some really great food. Reservations will be back available May 26th, I believe, and the first show will be in June. I'm so ready for cornbread and strawberry shortcake. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Now, some of you can already tell that I'm hanging out over here at the Grand Floridian Resort in Walt Disney World. And you can tell spring has sprung here at the resort when the chocolate Easter egg art has returned to the hotel. Let's take a look. Each Easter egg is made out of chocolate and decorated with edible products. Some of these eggs can weigh anywhere between 9 pounds to over 100 plus pounds. All these pieces are made by the very, very talented Grand Floridian culinary team. The process of creating these pieces of art do take some time, between concept drawing, chef approval, and overall just taking time to finish making the eggs, along with their other culinary and bakery duties that they have to perform here at the resort. My favorite ones are the ones where you can look at the piece and you can tell that that story and that character meant a lot to that cast member. Like this 101 Dalmatians egg that has a reference to the Canine Crunchies commercial that you can see the Dalmatians watching on the inside of the egg. They even took time to make art on the back of the egg as well. Or even obscure references to Rescuers Down Under with Joanna, who happens to eat eggs in her regular diet. Now this egg I've seen pictures of, but I didn't realize how large it was in person. It is a 50th anniversary Cinderella carriage egg. This thing is huge, and it has lights. I also appreciate that the cast members added in a shimmering license plate, and if you look at the expiration date, it expires in February of 23, which is funny because the 50th ends the very beginning of March, so it expires in February. I get the joke, I appreciate it. Some really creative designs. Honestly, I do love the honey pot. That's adorable from Winnie the Pooh. Giant over-the-top Encanto piece. And my 3 favorites are actually right next to each other. A little sandpiper from the Pixar short. Another 50th anniversary inspired design with Walt's name tag and his brother Roy's name tag on the other side. And of course, some beautiful detail with the casting agency door on the back. And of course, Figment hanging out on top of the Epcot egg bowl. I also appreciate that they added in the beacons of magic colors into the egg itself, which is great. A Ratatouille-inspired Alice in Wonderland, Raya and the Lost Dragon, as well as Luca, and look, they even added in the creepy little fish. Now these eggs will only be able to be viewed until April 18th. However, some eggs from previous years do hang out behind glass and you can see them all year round. Till next time, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So this comment popped up on my bass fishing video I did just a couple days ago, and it made me think about a conversation I had with a guest back when I worked in recreation. Back when they rented boats at Caribbean Beach Resort. And of course you explained to the guest, hey, remember, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat at all times. And the dad goes, you hear that, David? That's because she doesn't want an alligator to bite your hand off. Yep. Wait, what? There's alligators in here? Well, yes, sir. It's Florida. Oh, I thought Disney got rid of all the alligators. Wait, no. You don't think that's serious, right? As a matter of fact, he did. And unfortunately, a lot of guests think that as well. You can't really remove alligators, especially not from Florida, because it is a natural part of our ecosystem, and they actually play a very important part in Florida's ecosystem. And there's also certain laws that protect the American alligator, like it's illegal to feed them. It's also a third-degree felony if you kill or injure one without a license. And yes, there is a gator trapping license, just like there is a fishing license. And no, Disney can't remove every alligator from property, because a gator technically has to be deemed a nuisance to be able to be relocated to a different location. And one of those requirements is the alligator has to be over 4 feet long. With this in mind, Disney has created different barriers around Disney World property to help deter alligators from coming closer to guests. For example, alligators like to bask in the sun, so they like to ease out of the water, where next to certain Disney waterways is actually a very steep drop-off. Alligators will stay clear from that area. Or there's now the rocks covering the certain beach areas closer to the resorts, which helps with the gators but don't really help with the snake problem, but that's a different issue. And yes, even if an alligator is relocated to a different location, an alligator can always come back to Disney. If they're in need of a new habitat or in need of food, alligators can move anywhere between a half a mile to 2 miles per day to be able to find a new location. Yeah. It was also estimated in 2018 that there are over 1.3 million alligators in the state of Florida alone. Now, most of those are over in the Everglades, but still, that just means they ain't going nowhere. And before somebody else says something in the comments, yes, there was an incident a couple years ago. And while unfortunate, it was 100% a natural hunting instinct of that alligator. So to my guests that are worried about alligators at Disney World, don't worry about it. Just keep your distance, keep your hands inside the boat at all times, and don't go jumping in bodies of water you shouldn't. Oh, and also don't worry about them being out in the daytime. They're not as active during the day, they're more active at night. And to anyone that is scared with this information, I'm telling you, don't be scared. Again, alligators are just a natural part of Florida. They're just Florida dinosaurs that'll eat your crusty dog, that's all it is. Respect their space and they'll stay away from you. Till next time, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.